My wife was getting married in Hawaii. To another man. While she was still married to me. Let me take you back to how this all started. Sarah and I had been married for 8 years. She was my college sweetheart, my best friend, my everything. We had this beautiful life in Denver, a cozy house, 2 cats, weekly date nights. She worked in pharmaceutical sales, which meant business trips twice a month. I was proud of how successful she'd become. Another conference in Phoenix, she'd say, kissing me goodbye. I'll miss you, babe. I never questioned it. Why would I? She'd send me pictures of hotel lobbies, conference rooms, boring chicken dinners. We'd text throughout the day. She seemed miserable on these trips, always complaining about long meetings and terrible hotel Wi-Fi. But then the small things started adding up. She came back from a Chicago conference with a tan. In February. When I mentioned it, she laughed it off. The hotel had an amazing indoor pool and sun lamps. You know how pale I get in winter. Her luggage started smelling like plumeria. Not her usual perfume, something tropical, floral. They had this amazing soap at the Marriott, she explained. The credit card statements showed charges I didn't recognize. Expensive dinners, but she always ate alone on business trips. When I asked, she got defensive. Sometimes clients want to go somewhere nice. It's called networking, Jake. Something felt off, but I pushed the feeling down. This was Sarah. My Sarah. Then came the phone call that changed everything. I was doing laundry when her phone rang. She was in the shower, and it kept ringing. The caller ID said Honolulu General Hospital. My blood went cold. Was she hurt? In an emergency? I answered. Mrs. Chen? This is about your appointment confirmation for next Tuesday. I think you have the wrong number, I said. This is Jake Morrison. Silence. Then, isn't this Sarah Chen's phone? Sarah Chen. My wife's maiden name was Williams. We'd been married for 8 years. Ma'am, I think there's been a mistake. The line went dead. My hands were shaking. Chen? Why would someone call her Chen? When Sarah got out of the shower, I confronted her. She went white as a sheet. It's probably just a mix-up with work records, she stammered. You know how hospitals are with paperwork. But her voice cracked. Sarah never cracked. That night, I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her laptop while she slept. What I found destroyed my world. Email after email to someone named David Chen. Not work emails. Love letters. Plans for their anniversary trip to Maui. Photos of them together on beaches I'd never seen. Sarah wearing a ring I'd never bought her. And then I found the wedding photos. My wife, in a white dress, kissing another man under a Hawaiian sunset. The timestamp was from 3 years ago. 3 years into our marriage. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. How was this possible? But it got worse. So much worse. I found plane tickets. Not to Chicago or Phoenix or any of the cities she'd told me about. Every single business trip for the past 3 years had been to Honolulu. She'd been living a double life, literally flying back and forth between 2 husbands. The medical appointment? She was pregnant. I sat in our kitchen at 3 a.m., staring at ultrasound photos of a baby that wasn't mine. A baby she was having with her other husband. The man she'd apparently married in Hawaii while telling me she was at a pharmaceutical conference in Atlanta. The next morning, she left for another business trip to Portland. I knew exactly where she was really going. I called in sick to work and booked the next flight to Honolulu. If my wife wanted to live a double life, it was time both of her lives collided. I found their house easily, the address was in her emails. A beautiful beachfront property in Kailua. There was a car in the driveway. A minivan with a baby on board sticker. My chest felt like it was caving in. She was building a whole family without me. I waited across the street for hours. Finally, I saw them. Sarah and David, walking hand in hand, her pregnant belly clearly visible now. They looked so happy. So in love. The same way she looked with me. I followed them to a restaurant. They were celebrating something. David kept toasting her, and she was glowing. I sat 3 tables away, watching my wife live her other life. That's when I heard David talking to the waiter about their 5th wedding anniversary dinner. 5 years. Not 3. 5. She'd been married to him longer than I'd thought. Which meant... oh God. Which meant she'd married him first. I wasn't her husband who'd been betrayed. I was her affair. I was the other man, and I didn't even know it. I stumbled out of the restaurant and called a lawyer from the parking lot. I need to know if my marriage is legal, I said, my voice shaking. It wasn't. You can't be married to 2 people. Her marriage to David was legal and filed in Hawaii. Our marriage in Colorado was void. Fraudulent. I'd been living a lie for 8 years. But here's where it gets interesting. I didn't confront them that day. Instead, I flew back to Denver and started planning. If Sarah could live a double life, I could play the game too. I hired a private investigator. Gathered evidence. Documented everything. The bigamy, the fraud, the financial crimes, because she'd been using our joint credit cards to fund her Hawaii life. Then I waited for her to come home from Portland. How was the conference, honey? I asked when she walked through the door. Oh, you know. Boring presentations, terrible food. She kissed my cheek, and I smelled that plumeria scent again. I handed her an envelope. What's this? She asked. Divorce papers. And a criminal complaint for bigamy and fraud. Her face went through every emotion possible. Confusion, fear, anger, desperation. Jake, I can explain. Explain what? That you've been married to David Chin for 5 years? That you're pregnant with his baby? That our entire marriage is a lie? She collapsed onto our couch, the couch I now realized I'd been paying for while she built a life with someone else. It wasn't supposed to happen like this, she whispered. The whole story came out. She'd met David in college, married him young in Hawaii where his family lived. But she'd gotten cold feet about the island life, moved back to Colorado, met me. Instead of getting divorced, she'd just started over. Created a new identity, a new life. I loved you both, she said, crying. I didn't know how to choose. So you chose to lie to both of us for years? David didn't know about me either. He thought her business trips were real. She'd been scamming both of us, playing house with whoever was convenient. The legal battle was swift. Bigamy is still a felony. She pled guilty to avoid prison time, but she lost everything. Her job, her reputation, both her marriages. David divorced her immediately when he found out. Turns out, he's actually a decent guy who had no idea he was part of a con. As for me? I got my life back. It took therapy and time, but I'm dating someone new now. Someone real, who doesn't have a secret family in paradise. Sarah sends me Christmas cards from the mainland now. She moved back in with her parents in Ohio. The baby, a little girl, is beautiful. I hope she grows up with more honesty than her mother. Sometimes people ask if I regret those 8 years. I don't. They taught me that love without truth isn't love at all. It's just a beautiful lie. Have you experienced something like this? Tell me in the comments.